Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome again to the daily dose of the ledger of an aspiring speaker. Over the past weekend, I sat down and pondered on a couple of things. And one aspect that came across my mind was quite often we set ourselves some targets. It is because we want to achieve something in life, we've got dreams, and we know that for us to accomplish those dreams, we need to set some targets, some goals, and we put steps to achieve them or to implement them. And quite often what we see is we see somebody setting themselves a high standard or a high objective, a high target, because we know that setting a high target is going to drive some actions, going to drive a culture of high performance, thinking that is going to drive a culture of high performance, and ultimately you are going to attain an improved level of performance or of value addition. But I've also realized something. There are times when you set these lofty standards, instead of driving the desired action, it actually demoralizes people and takes the standard even lower or the actual performance even lower. There's been quite a number of organizations that have tried to set some stretch targets called stretch targets. I mean, those in the world of finance, they know every time somebody speaks of a target, says a target has to be stretch so that it can drive super hyper performance. And there could be some realistic targets. There are some that speak of some objectives being smart, but I'm not going to zoom into it. What all that means. But the question that I'm saying is, in your personal space, do you set any standards or you just decide to hit? Because what I'm going to tell you is, there are times that even missing a lofty standard, it is better, because if you set a high standard and you try to aim, you can still miss, but rest assured, maybe you will just fall a fraction, or let's just say 75% or three quarters of that lofty standard. But at least you aimed high and you missed. And I can tell you, if you hit, you are going to be one of the super performers. You are going to see some change in your life. But now, the flip side is, let's assume you just aim too low. You aim too low and hit. You might certainly realize that you could have done better, but for whatever reason, you did not commit the resources, you did not commit yourself, you did not draw much from your tank so that you can achieve whatever you could potentially achieve. There is nothing as dangerous as a setting a low target and then you hit it, because you don't get to access your true potential. But for me, there is another angle that many people don't speak about, because too high targets and you miss, too low targets and you hit. But there are those that don't aim at all. Those that don't aim at all. Here in South Africa, we always heard that there is a saying which says, "Uzoyithola kanjani uhlele khona." So if you don't aim, if you don't try to aim for anything, you are going to hit nothing. So the question that I'm going to ask you today, are you that kind of a person who sets themselves high standards and say, okay, fine, at least I'm going to try to pursue them. Whatever happens, it happens. There are those that have always wanted to be business people, those that always wanted to come up with some innovative things, innovative ways of doing business, innovative ways of interacting with humans, people that always try to bring new solutions that makes our lives better, things that make our existence a little bit smoother or better than it was before. They are always trying to aim high. If they miss, but at least they were on the path to developing and doing something that is going to benefit humanity. But there are some people that wants to say, I'm just going to do whatever it is, and it actually gets very 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 tricky. Imagine I actually don't understand. Imagine you are that woman who sleeps with a man who doesn't aim at all. How do you give a baby to such a man? How to give a baby to such a man? And you, man, how do you even sleep with such a woman? But here, the question is not about sleeping with people, but I'm saying there are somebody, for instance, you ask them, okay, fine, I know that you're looking for a job. Let me try to help you, but how can I help you? Which kind of a job are you looking for? Says, I'm looking for just anything. Anything is, I can tell you, if you say anything, anything is actually nothing. So now you rather aim to say, okay, fine, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a security officer. At least you are aiming for something. Yes, those things, they are not the best things that people should aim, because you probably should aim to say, I want to transform people's lives. I want to come up with a solution that makes this aspect of human existence better. That's the high standard. But if you say you want to be a doctor, you want to be a scientist, or whatever it is, at least you have aimed as well. What I don't understand is somebody says, what are you looking for? How can I help you? Noma yini. Imagine those noma yini, and you go and sleep with that person. Imagine the offspring that you're going to rear. They will be the noma yini. If the whole community starts breathing the noma yins, what kind of a community will that be? So, my challenge to you today is, why is it seems so hard for people to imagine their lives improving? Why is it so hard to escape from the realities of our time? There are so many vices and many things that are trying to bring us down, but we are not going to escape from it if we don't aim at all. We might escape it if we still aim low. But the solution to us escaping from this, it is to aim high. At least if we miss, we are going to end somewhere just there. It might not be extremely good, but it is better than low or nothing. Start today. Thank you.